everybody, my name's Lyndon. I'm a beekeeper from central Pennsylvania, and I've been keeping bees for, it'll be 4 years this spring. I'm taking a little bit of a different route this year. I'm going to try out top bar hives. I'm actually using them as swarm traps. And I'm kind of going to give you a rundown of how I'm building them, how I'm making my top bars, and kind of what my plan is for this year. So I'm building 12 top bar nuc boxes, which it's 44 liters, which is pretty much the perfect volume for a swarm trap. I think they say like 40 to 60 liters is ideal. It's the most attractive to like a prime swarm. So what I did was the only thing I bought this year was plywood, which is good because the price of lumber right now is ridiculous. So I actually bought 3 sheets of plywood and it was $150, which is insane. I probably didn't even need to buy that, but it was just easier than trying to hunt down plywood at my work, because all the other lumber I got was scrap crates from my work. It's we have so much lumber. Like, my boss basically says, yeah, take whatever you want. So using mostly scrap wood besides this plywood. 2x4s, 1x4s, there's a few 1x6s, and pretty much just use the plywood for the ends, and then the bottom board. The bottom board, I cut the bottom board about a 1/16 bigger than the space will be at the top of the box, which is the bottom here, so that it's a little snug. It kind of, it still falls, but it gives me a little bit of snugness so that I can clamp. I put quick clamps across here to hold it in place. So what I do is I quick clamp it in, put deck screws on either end, just 2. 2's plenty just to hold it there. Because I actually when I put the sideboards in, I nail into this bottom board too, so it's really nice and strong. I kind of worry about my design for another reason. I'll get to that in a little bit, but didn't quite think it through, but it might not be an issue. We'll see. So I get my bottom board in, and then I take wood glue the surface of the plywood here, put my sideboard on, and I just nail it in with 1.5" box nails, and then put the first one in, and I put the clamp in close to the bottom here to draw all these boards in, because I actually have them clamped into a jig, which I'll take these off and show you what that looks like. But I have it clamped into a jig, an assembly jig, to make this streamline this process, because I'm trying to build 30 of these. I got 15 done so far, which I did the math. I can do a box every 30 minutes. So if I take 8 hours, I could finish these all up. But I still have to put like feet on them so they don't teeter over and fall over. And they'll be easier to strap to a tree if I have legs on the side. But yeah, I put the first board on after I clamp it, get a nail in on each side, then I let out the clamps, because it actually makes it bow a little bit here. So before I put the next board on, I take the clamps out, put my next board on, put glue on, and glue the second board to the first board, and then put 3 nails in each board on each side, and then keep going until I get up to the bottommost sideboard, and put that last one in, and then that's when I nail it into the bottom board, and then it's box is done. And then I build, like I said, I pretty much make my top bars out of whatever wood I can find. These are made from 2x4s. I also have ones I cut from 1x, oops, moving the phone. Ones that I cut from 1x lumber. And then I just put popsicle sticks in there. They're the jumbo ones. I wanted a good comb guide on these so that be less likely to build cross comb through these, but who knows, they might end up still doing whatever they want. Bees do what they want. So if they do that, I'll have to cut them out, and I'll probably just put them into a Langstroth box if I cut them out, and I'll just rubber band the combs in. But that's the beauty of how I design these top bars. I cut them at 19 inches so that they fit perfectly into a Langstroth box. So since I've never done top bar hives before, if I hate managing them, I can transfer them all over to Langstroth equipment. The only issue I'll have is that these ones I cut from 2x4s they'll stick out above the box pretty far, and I'll probably have to kind of make like a modified inner cover to butt up against them on either side, because I'll probably drop, like, I don't know, if I make a split, I'll probably drop, you know, like 4 or 5 combs into a Langstroth deep, and then put empty combs on either side. So I'll have to use like maybe like a 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood on either side just to make up the difference and cover that space up like an inner cover. And then I probably won't be able to super them, so plan is, well, I could probably super them if I move these combs up when I add the new box, and then checkerboard the bottom box. But my other option would be this nadir and put a box underneath. There's a few ways I could work that, but that's one thing I try to do if I'm experimenting with a new hive style, is I have a way out. I can transfer it to a Langstroth. Transfer it in a Langstroth equipment if need be, if I get fed up with it. Same thing with, I actually made a whole bunch of comfort hive boxes, which I can show you those. Let's see here. My garage is kind of a mess, so just ignore that. Yeah, these are the comfort hive boxes. It's a really simple design that Sam Comfort came up with. I'm sure some people that see this will be familiar with it, but he uses skewers. I just ripped a bunch of scrap wood into, well, basically skewers. They're like square skewers. But I was gonna try to get these out last year and didn't have time. My second son was born in March, so I had my hands full. I was still somehow able to get 6 swarm traps out with everything I had going on, but I didn't catch anything, so hopefully this year will be better. Oh, and here's the finished product of my top bar nuke boxes. The 15 I've built so far. Like I said, I'll have to put some legs or something on them so they're not so wobbly, because I want to put them in the tree with the one side facing the tree, and right now it would be way too steep of a slant, so and the other thing I could do is just put like a 4x4 cleat behind it to kind of space it out from the tree or whatever I'm attaching it to. But yeah, these could be double as I plan to, if these work out, use them as double nuke boxes too. Put an entrance at either side in the corners, and then what I can do is cut a half-inch out of half-inch plywood, cut a divider board, and turn these into a split nuke box, just to kind of try to winter some smaller nukes. I follow a lot of what Kirk Webster does, and some other beekeepers up north that overwinter nukes, and I'd like to give that a shot. But I also designed these so that they have some play to them. I'm hoping it doesn't screw up the bee space. I got about a half-inch gap here, which this could double as a top entrance too, once I put the lid on, which I have to get working on lids. It's starting to get a little stressful trying to get all this stuff done before spring. I'm freaking out a little bit, but hopefully it all works out. Got a lot to do yet, but half-inch shim fits in here. I didn't want to have it be exact because bees like to propolize everything, and I was just afraid if I had these exactly flush and snug in here, they ended up propolizing it and I'd be having a lot of trouble getting them back in. Yeah, so that's pretty much the plan for this year. I'm gonna try to get these, probably try to get at least 15 of these up in the trees by the middle of March, so they're ready to go. And then the rest of my equipment I'm gonna hold aside because I just made a beekeeping removal website, and I want to try to get that going to where I get some more traffic on it, and hopefully get some calls this year, and then can go gather up some bees instead of just hoping that I catch some, because I was hopeful last year with just 6 swarm traps and didn't catch anything, but I mean, it's not a very big number, so hopefully if I get 15 up, I can at least catch some swarms that way and then get some calls too. We'll see what happens. If I don't get anything, I'm sure I can mooch some bees off somebody again.